Have you ever felt a deep, undeniable pull, as if an unseen force guides your path? A stirring within that hints at something far greater than your everyday reality. This isn't coincidence. It's a precise alignment, a signal that you're standing at the edge of a profound, transformative shift in your life. Today, we're unveiling the extraordinary capabilities within you, capabilities that are about to activate and redefine your entire existence. Just as ancient texts speak of hidden treasures reserved for those ready to receive, so too are unique powers reserved for you. Still your mind, open your spirit, and prepare to receive a powerful impartation. Your internal atmosphere is about to undergo a dramatic change. What you're experiencing right now is more than just curiosity or background noise. This moment holds a divine timing, specifically for you. Your spirit was drawn here because something deep within has been stirring, rising, waking up. You've sensed this shift, even if words failed you. You felt life as you know it changing, the ground beneath you moving. Old patterns no longer resonate with who you are becoming. This sensation isn't confusion, it's spiritual acceleration. It's proof that you are being prepared for a greater measure of inner power. For so long, you navigated experiences without a clear understanding. Challenges seemed unreasonable, delays broke your heart, isolation made no sense. You carried weights no one around you truly understood. You faced betrayal, rejection, and spiritual heaviness. Yet, something deep within refused to collapse. Over and over, you rose. Over and over, you rebuilt. You survived what should have destroyed you. This isn't ordinary strength. This is your first divine power, spiritual alchemy. You are an alchemist of the spirit. You possess the ancient ability to transmute, to take what was meant to break you and transform it into wisdom, clarity, and supernatural strength. The world calls it resilience, but that word is too small. What lives within your spirit is the capacity to transform energy. This is why your path has felt heavier, why certain seasons felt like fire. Heaven wasn't crushing you, it was activating you. I speak this not only from observation but from personal experience. I remember seasons where everything felt like it was slipping away. Times when prayers seemed to evaporate into silence, moments when loved ones departed, and I mistook it for loss instead of protection. Nights I felt powerless, questioning why God allowed storms. Years later, I understood, those storms were classrooms. Those endings were redirections. Those heavy moments were spiritual weight training. Heaven wasn't weakening me, it was sculpting my capacity. The same is true for you. You weren't given the ability to crumble under pressure. You were given the ability to convert pressure into elevation. When the world throws negativity at you, it doesn't stick. It becomes fuel. When people underestimate you, their doubt becomes clarity. When life hits unexpectedly, the impact becomes revelation. You were built differently, with a profound inner resilience. You feel deeply, yes, carrying emotions intensely. But this depth is not weakness, it's a sign your spirit transforms energy, rather than just absorbing it. Most absorb negativity like a sponge, internalizing pain, becoming bitter and stagnant. But you are wired to refine what tries to wound you. When pain strikes, something within awakens. Your spirit rearranges the pieces, extracts wisdom, and rises stronger. This is why you outgrew environments quickly. Why shallow people never understood you. Why you never fit where they tried to contain you. Your spirit is designed to evolve, not remain static. Now, the time has come to master this gift intentionally. Until now, you've used it without understanding. You've survived without knowing why. But heaven calls you to step into conscious power. No more reacting emotionally. No more carrying what isn't yours. No more letting the world dictate your atmosphere. Your awareness shapes your reality. When negativity rises, you'll recognize it without absorbing it. When discouragement tries to attach, you'll transform it. When fear whispers, you'll confront it with clarity. When spiritual heaviness attempts to sit on you, you'll rise with authority. Spiritual alchemy begins with perspective. Shift from "why me" to "what is this activating in me," and everything changes. Suddenly, the storm becomes strategy. Pressure becomes preparation. Rejection becomes redirection. A closed door, protection. Nothing is random. I experienced this firsthand. The moment I viewed challenges as invitations, to rise, to see differently, to grow, my life transformed. I stopped seeing setbacks as punishment and started seeing them as training. Loss became heaven making room for better alignment. That shift changed my entire life, and it will change yours too. Your gift of spiritual alchemy is precisely why challenges sought to break you. They knew if you ever discovered this power, you would become unstoppable, unshakable, a threat to every dimension of darkness. And that moment of discovery is happening now. Breathe. Feel strength rising. Clarity forming. Your spirit expanding. You are not fragile. You are fortified. And this is only the beginning. The second power, a deeper power, is waiting. Once it activates, everything accelerates into divine alignment. Now that spiritual alchemy is awakening, heaven is ready to reveal the second, intuitive mastery. This is more than a skill, it's a spiritual inheritance. It's the mark that distinguishes you, the signature of heaven on your life. You've always sensed it, felt different, even when you tried to deny it. Heaven is now removing the veil, so you can finally understand the truth. You have been gifted with spiritual sight. This gift isn't about natural eyes. It's the ability to perceive what others overlook, to sense what others ignore, to understand what seems impossible. From childhood, you felt things before they happened. You sensed intentions. You noticed patterns others dismissed as coincidence. Your intuition was so sharp, it frightened you at times. This isn't imagination or luck, this is spiritual sight, the ability to see beyond the veil. I remember realizing this gift in myself. I spoke to someone smiling, but their eyes carried an undeniable heaviness. My spirit whispered, "This person is breaking." They hadn't shared a word of struggle. But moments later, tears fell, and they asked, "How did you know?" In that moment, I realized spiritual sight isn't about staring harder, it's about sensing deeper. It's heaven whispering truth long before evidence appears. This gift has been active all along. It's why you notice shifts in energy, why your heart feels heavy for hidden pain, why you sense danger. This is your second extraordinary power, and it's time to embrace it fully. But understand, this gift comes with weight. Seeing beyond the veil means you cannot live like everyone else. You cannot pretend you don't know what you know, or ignore your intuition. Your intuition isn't just instinct, it's divine communication. When your spirit alerts you, heaven is speaking. An unexplainable pull is alignment. An unshakable hesitation is protection. Most walk blind, seeing faces but not motives, words but not intentions. But you see deeper, feel earlier, know sooner. This gift has been both your strength and, at times, your loneliness. You questioned yourself, wondered why you felt too much, believing you imagined things. But you were perceiving what others could not. Carrying sight in a world preferring blindness can feel like punishment, isolating you. But this isolation was intentional. Heaven needed you to trust your sight, not suppress it to blend in. I know the struggle of doubting intuition, only to realize I was right. The frustration of seeing potential or danger long before others. But spiritual sight may feel lonely, yet it is never wrong. Heaven calls you to sharpen this gift, to stop ignoring your intuition, to stop silencing the whisper to make others comfortable. The world may not understand your depth, but heaven does. Your spiritual sight was designed for alignment, protection, discernment, and purpose. And here's the truth, your next breakthrough, elevation, and divine opportunity will require this gift. It's the key to your next chapter. God is bringing you into seasons where intentions matter more than appearances. Discernment protects you from traps disguised as blessings. A wrong partnership could derail destiny, the right connection could accelerate your life. Only spiritual sight navigates this level. This is why the warfare around your mind has been intense. Why confusion tried to cloud judgment. Why distractions increased. The enemy fears a chosen one who sees clearly. When you can see, you cannot be deceived. When you can discern, you cannot be manipulated. When you walk in spiritual awareness, you become unshakable. It's time to protect your light, your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not every conversation, not every environment aligns with your calling. Guard your atmosphere. This isn't selfishness, it's stewardship. You have a divine assignment, and clarity is your currency. Step deeper into this power. Meditate, grow quiet enough to hear God's whispers. Trust repeated signs, numbers, dreams, sudden insights. You are being guided. Your spiritual sight is awakening, expanding, sharpening. Once fully active, you'll no longer question your path or decisions. You'll walk with certainty, clarity, and divine wisdom. When these two gifts, spiritual alchemy and intuitive mastery, work together, nothing remains the same. As your spiritual sight sharpens, and your ability to transmute deepens, something even more profound unfolds, your path begins to open. You start seeing what was always there, noticing divine alignments that once felt like coincidences. Certain people, moments, shifts, never random, but signals. Now, you're entering a season where these signals become clearer, louder, impossible to ignore. Intuitive mastery helps you understand divine timing. Heaven moves with precision. When your spirit aligns with that timing, acceleration happens. No more slow motion, no more delays. For years, progress felt delayed, answers out of reach. But now, the pace is changing. Your spirit is catching up to heaven's declarations. Lately, you felt a strange mixture of restlessness and clarity. Ready for bigger things, done with old cycles, called out of old versions. This tension isn't instability, it's spiritual transition, the push of destiny. Like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, you are shifting. I've walked through that tension. Seasons where the physical world hinted at no change, yet my spirit vibrated with expectation. I woke sensing a shift, though everything looked the same. Heaven confirmed what my spirit knew, doors opened, relationships aligned, opportunities surfaced. It taught me something powerful, spiritual shifts happen before physical ones. The spirit always knows first. And your spirit knows. You felt the ground trembling, the internal pull to prepare. Your spiritual sight isn't just revealing what is, but what is coming. Breakthrough. Not the gentle kind, but the sudden kind. The kind that redefines you, that makes sense of everything you've survived. But to handle breakthrough correctly, you must first understand your sensitivity. You often feel spiritually overloaded, picking up what others miss. You can enter a room and feel heaviness not your own, sense truth behind words, or spiritual warfare before it manifests. This has felt like a burden, but heaven shows you it's your strength. Still, guard your spirit, for sight without boundaries leads to exhaustion. You've been exhausted before, not physically, but spiritually. Your mind tired, emotions overwhelmed, energy drained. You tried to rest your body, but your spirit carried too much. This season demands intentional protection. Discernment is your shield. Not every voice, person, or energy deserves access. When words feel light but spirit heavy, trust discernment. When something looks good but feels wrong, trust it. When an opportunity appears perfect, but your spirit hesitates, trust your discernment. Heaven warns long before danger arrives. The more your sight awakens, the more the enemy tries to distract you. It cannot blind you, so it tries to overwhelm you. It tries to cloud your mind with responsibilities, unaligned relationships, emotional noise, spiritual clutter. It keeps you busy, so you can't align. But you are breaking out. You're learning to choose peace over noise, clarity over chaos, alignment over distraction. This is spiritual maturity. You understand that just because you can carry or fix something doesn't mean you should. Your calling isn't to be drained, it's to be discerning. Heaven prepares you for a season where spiritual sight becomes a powerful weapon. You cannot rely on appearances. People will show up with charm, but not all carry purity. Opportunities appear promising, but not all are aligned. Discernment is crucial. With spiritual sight, you choose what aligns with destiny, not ego. This is why you've been separated, why your circle shrunk. You needed clarity, quiet, room to awaken without interference. And now, you are awakening. Your second divine power, intuitive mastery, isn't just seeing beyond the veil, it's walking confidently, trusting what you see. The more you honor this gift, the sharper it becomes. The more you trust it, the stronger it grows. Your path becomes clearer. You're stepping into the version of yourself heaven always intended, the one who sees clearly, senses truth, rises without fear. When spiritual alchemy and intuitive mastery work together, you become unshakable. Your clarity returns, vision sharpens, spirit rises. As your spiritual sight sharpens, heaven brings you to the next transformative realization: you were never meant to react, you were created to rule. You were created to govern your inner world, command your atmosphere, and stand in authority, even when circumstances contradict heaven's promise. This authority isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet, deeply rooted, and undeniable. And it's awakening in you right now. Authority begins with understanding who you are. But it's sustained by understanding who walks with you. You're not alone in any storm. Trauma convinced you to fix everything yourself. Rejection made you feel alone. Silence made you think heaven forgot. But none of that was truth. Heaven has been guiding every step, even when unseen. The unseen realm was active. And now, what was hidden is revealed, you were carried. When heaven marks you, your life doesn't unfold like everyone else's. Easy paths cannot hold the weight of your calling. You don't avoid storms, because storms strengthen what comfort would weaken. You don't blend in, because blending in would bury your anointing. You've been set apart not as punishment, but as preparation. Everything about you was designed for higher altitude, deeper clarity, greater power. A sign of royalty in your spirit, you've always struggled to tolerate anything beneath your calling. Small thinking feels suffocating. Shallow conversations feel draining. Spiritually shallow environments feel like prisons. Even when you tried to stay, your spirit resisted. That resistance wasn't moodiness, it was guidance. Heaven has been steering you away from places that couldn't hold what's inside you. I felt this often. Environments that seemed fine externally, but muted my spirit. Conversations that felt empty. People unaligned. Every time I ignored those signals, I paid the price. Every time I trusted them, heaven aligned something greater. Spiritual discomfort is divine redirection. Your spirit has long been telling you who is for you, when to stay, when to step back, when to walk away. Now, you can't ignore those whispers. Your destiny requires obedience at the level of intuition. What you feel spiritually isn't random, it's instruction. Ignoring spiritual instruction leads to unnecessary delays. Heaven strengthens your discernment because your next chapter involves divine connections. Unexpected opportunities, supernatural transitions. But also counterfeits, doors leading nowhere, people with hidden motives. Without discernment, elevation becomes vulnerability. With it, elevation becomes acceleration. Your inner authority grows with clarity. Not all opposition is demonic. Some resistance is protection. Some delays are divine shields. Rejections are answered prayers. Heaven has saved you from more than you know. If you could see what your spiritual sight prevented, you would fall to your knees in gratitude. Now, heaven shifts you from merely being protected to actively participating in your spiritual strategy. Choose alignment intentionally. Guard your energy, listen to intuition, recognize assignment versus distraction, and trust the voice within carrying divine wisdom. The real battle you've been fighting is internal, between your old identity and the new. Between fearing to step out and knowing you're meant to rise. It's the battle between survival mode and spiritual authority. But hear this, survival season is ending. Authority season is beginning. You're stepping into clarity never walked in before. You'll see people for who they truly are, sense aligned opportunities, feel shifts before they touch circumstances. With this heightened clarity, you'll no longer second guess. You'll walk with conviction, not confusion. Your steps are ordered, atmosphere cleansed, vision refined. Heaven positions you for breakthrough. The kind that doesn't just bless your life, but transforms it entirely. Breathe this truth in. You are not entering a season, you are entering an identity. You are not chasing breakthrough, breakthrough is coming toward you. The moment you step into who you truly are, everything assigned to your destiny begins to find you. This is your birthright. As you rise into this new identity, the atmosphere of your life is shifting. The spiritual infrastructure around your path is rearranging. What felt blocked is opening. What felt distant is drawing near. The spiritual weight pressing against you is beginning to lift. This is the clearest sign that heaven prepares you for supernatural transition. Not a subtle change, but a divine shift touching every area. Your journey has been long, heavy, often misunderstood. You've fought invisible battles, cried in silence, smiled through exhaustion. You carried burdens that would break others, yet you kept moving, serving, believing. Even when faith felt faint, you held on to hope. Heaven saw it all. Counted every tear, measured every sacrifice, remembered every quiet act of obedience. Nothing was wasted. Because of that faithfulness, heaven shifts you into a different dimension of living. From endurance to elevation, surviving to receiving. The very things you begged God for are aligning around your spirit. What felt delayed will feel destined. What felt locked will release. But before this shift fully manifests, understand its spiritual mechanics. Every divine transition requires two movements, release and reception. You must release the old atmosphere to receive the new. Heaven started this, even if it didn't look spiritual at the time. Relationships faded, opportunities dried up, people couldn't stay connected, environments stopped feeling like home. Not random, not rejection. It was alignment. Heaven was releasing what couldn't accompany you. Destiny requires space. Clearing the ground for new foundations. I lived through this. Seasons where everything seemed to fall apart. Friendships changed, doors closed. I felt abandoned. But later, I understood, heaven sometimes strips life to the foundation to build something greater. God doesn't remove to punish, He removes to prepare. Every departure created room for blessings that arrived like sudden rain. What you lost was making room for what you prayed for. Heaven turns your attention inward. This next phase requires emotional clarity, spiritual order, internal readiness. Your anointing expands. Your vision sharpens, spirit matures. Triggers no longer disturb peace. Draining people lose access. Doubts silenced by discernment. You're stepping into inner stability unshakable by external circumstances. But understand, when elevation approaches, opposition increases. Not because you are weak, but because you are close. Darkness senses a chosen one rising, recognizes the shift, feels your awakening authority. Just before breakthrough, warfare intensifies. But do not misinterpret the pressure. Pressure is a sign of spiritual birth. Resistance is a sign of divine momentum. The battle is confirmation, you're stepping into territory hell hoped you'd never reach. Your spiritual sight guides you with supernatural precision. You'll sense what deserves attention, what to ignore, who walks with you. Clarity is returning. Confidence is returning. Peace wraps around your spirit like a mantle. This inner alignment isn't just preparation, it's activation. When your spirit aligns fully, your external world shifts automatically. Doors respond. Opportunities appear. Finances move. Relationships align. Favor flows. Everything matches your spirit's frequency. Heaven urges you to remain steady, grounded, surrendered. You are closer than you think. You stand at the border of breakthrough. Though you may not see the full manifestation, your spirit already walks toward it. Your life is not going backward, it is expanding. Identity strengthening, path opening. You are not losing, you are transitioning. Transitions often feel like loss until the new chapter reveals what the old one was making space for. What is coming is greater than what left. What is ahead is greater than what was behind. And who you are becoming is far more powerful than who you were. Breathe this truth in. Now that heaven has aligned your spirit for transition, you are being prepared for activation. This is the moment many never reach. It requires surrender beyond emotion, moving into identity. You're stepping into a season where heaven speaks not just to you, but through you. The mantle on your life shifts from potential to power. Every chosen one reaches a point where waiting ends and walking begins. You are positioned for that moment. You'll feel a restlessness pushing you out of complacency, a stirring demanding movement, an expansion. These aren't anxiety, they're spiritual contractions. Heaven is birthing the next dimension of your calling. Breakthrough begins within. Before doors open, your spirit opens. Before opportunities, your awareness shifts. Before elevation, your identity is refined. Private preparation precedes public positioning. You've endured years of private preparation. Seasons carrying revelation, holding faith no one understood, growing in silence. Others mistook your stillness for stagnation. But now, your hidden years are beginning to speak. Your private journey is becoming public. Activation requires powerful agreement. You must agree with the version of you heaven has already seen. Release old identities. Many delay breakthrough, loyal to old identities that can't carry their purpose. But you're ready. Who you were was shaped by survival. Who you are becoming, by destiny. This shift is noticeable. People may say, you've changed, but you're not changing. You're remembering. You're awakening. Awakening into the version heaven designed long before life tried to dim your spirit. You're remembering your strength, discernment, authority, calling. As this identity rises, heaven opens pathways. You think, respond, pray, discern differently. You see possibilities, feel solutions, sense direction. This is evidence that your spiritual sight and power are merging. When they merge, you step into spiritual maturity. The dimension where you no longer beg for miracles because you understand you're walking with the miracle worker. Your innate power. But understand deeply, activation also attracts resistance. The enemy fights you not for who you were, but for who you are becoming. That's why certain thoughts tried to discourage you, memories resurfaced, old fears whispered. Hell senses the shift. But hear this clearly, you are not going backward. Old feelings resurface to reveal how far you've grown. You're no longer vulnerable. You no longer break at pressure that once crushed, or bend under weight that once weakened. Your spirit matured. You've become spiritually flameproof. Because of this growth, heaven prepares you for assignment. You are not just awakened, you are being sent. Positioned for impact. Your presence will shift rooms, words heal hearts, decisions break cycles, obedience activate miracles. You'll carry an undeniable light. Before heaven sends you, it strengthens you. This season may feel like stretching. God asks you out of comfort into conviction. Release old versions, habits, mindsets. Your spirit urges deeper prayer, intent listening, intentional rest. This isn't discipline, it's preparation. Heaven aligns your life with precision. People positioned. Opportunities prepared. Paths cleared. What seemed delayed accelerates. What felt blocked opens. What felt distant draws close. You may not see everything, but you feel it. That feeling is confirmation. Your spirit taps into heaven's supernatural timeline. You sense what's about to unfold before it's visible. Once heaven reveals, no earthly circumstance prevents it. Breathe this truth in. You're stepping into the part of your story where everything begins to make sense. The era heaven prepared you for. You're stepping into a mantle written for you before time began. Your vision, wisdom, healing, clarity, all preparation for this assignment. Activation isn't coming. It has already begun. Embrace it. This is your moment. As your activation unfolds, heaven refines something deeper, your spiritual posture. Elevation isn't just what you carry, but how you carry it. You're shaped into someone who stands firm in authority, yet remains soft in humility. Carries power without losing purity. Walks in destiny without being shaken by distraction. This inner refinement may feel subtle, but it is sacred. You may crave solitude, not withdrawing, but recalibrating. Speaking less, not from silence, but wisdom. Letting go of arguments, valuing peace. These shifts aren't personality changes, they're upgrades. Signs heaven teaches you to govern your inner world with authority. Your internal stillness becomes your external strength. You'll walk into unsettling situations and find yourself calm. Encounter people who triggered insecurity, feel clarity. Face moments that caused anxiety, respond with discernment. This is evidence of spiritual maturity. Heaven detoxes your spirit. Old emotional residue lifts. Old wounds lose their grip. Old narratives crumble. You may feel random waves of emotion, sadness without story, heaviness without source, sudden tears. This isn't regression, this is release. Heaven cleanses grief, fear, fatigue carried for years. Healing happens, even in silence. I've experienced this. Crying not from current pain, but releasing years of unspoken battles. Heaven lifting burdens I normalized. Your soul is being restored, not patched up, restored. Heaven strengthens what life weakened, soothes what trauma tightened, renews what exhaustion drained. As this healing happens, your capacity increases. Heart wider, discernment sharper, spirit lighter. Triggers lose power. Draining conversations feel irrelevant. Overwhelming environments feel beneath your spirit. This isn't pride, this is elevation. Your spiritual threshold rises. When heaven elevates you internally, it also elevates your spiritual authority externally. Your presence disrupts darkness. People shift tone around you. Hidden motives become obvious. Environments feel different when you walk in. You won't have to speak, your spirit will speak for you. The anointing on your life becomes visible, even to those who don't understand spirituality. This shift may come with opposition. But the opposition is confirmation. Darkness always reacts when a chosen one rises. But this time, you enter conflict with wisdom, full awareness. You won't be easily provoked, discouraged, or shaken. You'll respond with clarity instead of emotion, authority instead of anxiety. Heaven positions you to influence others. Your breakthrough won't stay private, it will touch lives. Your transformation will inspire. Your wisdom will open doors for the lost. Your resilience, a testimony strengthening others. You are stepping into leadership. Not leadership of titles, but of presence, example, spiritual weight. When you walk in identity, people feel permission to rise. When you walk in purpose, people feel empowered. When in peace, people feel safe. Leadership requires responsibility. Heaven trusts you. You proved faithful in private seasons. You didn't quit when it hurt, compromise when lonely, abandon calling when silence lasted. Your endurance earned this. Breathe this truth into your bones. Your spirit is maturing. Identity strengthening. Authority rising. Assignment approaching. You're not just being prepared for blessing, you're being prepared to carry blessing. What you carry next requires the strongest, clearest, most surrendered you. As your spiritual posture strengthens, and your inner world settles into authority, heaven reveals the next dimension, alignment with destiny. Divine connections, timing, supernatural provision. Everything scattered begins to gather. Delayed accelerates. Unclear makes sense. You're stepping into the orchestration phase. Heaven moves pieces into place with precision, unmanufacturable by human effort. Destiny is never an isolated path. People are assigned to your next chapter. Some left because their purpose was complete. Others will arrive because their presence aligns with where heaven takes you. Heaven shapes not just you, but the connections around you. People of purpose, purity, alignment, matching your spiritual frequency. Conversations deepen. Your spirit gravitates toward clarity, wisdom, sincerity. Uninterested in shallow interactions, unaligned relationships. Your soul no longer tolerates chaos disguised as companionship. Heaven draws toward you individuals who sharpen, strengthen, support your calling. This alignment is not only relational. It's situational. Your environment is shifting. Places you felt stuck in will no longer hold you. Buried dreams resurface. Heaven breathes life into them. Doors you forgot you knocked on swing open effortlessly, because heaven's timing has matured. I experienced this phase. Seasons of no movement, then suddenly everything moved at once. Opportunities connected like puzzle pieces. People appeared with unspoken answers. Resources flowed from unanticipated directions. It all felt orchestrated. When heaven decides you're ready, alignment becomes effortless. What once required striving becomes natural. Pushing becomes attracting. Hear me. You are entering your orchestration season. Heaven synchronizes the steps of your life with divine timing. You'll feel it clearly. Things requiring intense effort will now respond to your presence with ease. Your spirit aligns with assignment. With alignment comes supernatural provision. Heaven funds what heaven orders. When you walk in purpose, provision follows. When you step into calling, resources align. Obey instruction, supply responds. Provision isn't just finances, it's clarity, strategy, support, wisdom, strength, favor. These aren't random, they're intentional signs. You'll notice subtle shifts. Ideas drop effortlessly. Solutions appear. People recommend you. Unexpected support shows up. You attract what you once chased, because your inner frequency is rising. But provision also requires capacity. Heaven expands your capacity. You become someone who can hold more without breaking, carry more without crumbling. Build, lead, heal, elevate without losing yourself. This expansion may feel uncomfortable, but it's sacred discomfort. It stretches you to carry next blessings. With capacity comes responsibility. Heaven calls you to walk with precision, not panic. Intentionality, not impulsiveness. Discernment, not desperation. Opportunities require a clear mind. The doors opening next aren't ordinary. They are access points into divine timing. Prepare for profound shifts. Heaven positions you for impact. Experiences you survived aren't wasted. They become tools to help others. Your story carries medicine. Your wounds carry wisdom, journey carries revelation, resilience carries authority. You'll speak words that heal, advise with clarity, guide with compassion. Not because you studied these things, but because you live them. Your voice is becoming necessary. Your presence matters. Your journey becomes a roadmap for someone else's breakthrough. But to walk in this assignment, heaven must ensure you're anchored. Anchored in identity, discernment, purpose. Elevation without anchoring leads to collapse. Elevation with anchoring leads to legacy. Heaven makes you unshakable. Not untouchable, but unshakable. Not perfect, but prepared. Not flawless, but fortified. As this anchoring occurs, you'll notice synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences that aren't coincidences. Repeated signs, numbers, confirmations. You'll hear the same message from different sources, feel the same nudge multiple times. This is heaven saying, walk this way. Your path illuminates one step at a time. Heaven doesn't reveal the whole journey, it reveals what your spirit is mature enough to handle. You are becoming mature enough to steward clarity without fear. You are stepping into alignment, orchestration, provision, divine timing. Now that heaven has aligned your spirit, expanded your capacity, and positioned your steps, you enter the final phase, embodiment. This is where everything you've learned, fought for, and heaven deposited becomes active in daily life. Not theory, not preparation. Destiny unfolding through you. Embodiment means you no longer talk, think, or pray like the old you. You stand in your calling with confidence, walk with spiritual assurance. You speak with clarity, act with purpose, make decisions from identity, not insecurity. Heaven hasn't brought you this far to remain timid or unsure. You've crossed too many storms, survived too many battles, risen from too many ashes to question your worth. Now is the season to walk boldly. Embodiment means your light shines publicly. What heaven developed in secret reveals itself in silence-breaking ways. People will sense the shift in you. Your presence will feel different. Voice carry weight. Discernment sharpen atmospheres. You'll be surprised how many hearts are moved, doors respond, situations shift simply because you show up aligned. This presence comes with responsibility. You're no longer just living for yourself. You carry an assignment, impact, breakthrough flowing into families, communities, generations. Your obedience echoes. Embodiment means heaven trusts you. Trusts your heart, maturity, surrender. Trusts your willingness to follow whispers, stand firm. As this mantle settles, your influence becomes spiritual, not situational. You'll shift things without forcing, guide without controlling, speak truth without needing approval. Activate hope without trying to impress. Influence rooted in purpose flows naturally, gently, powerfully. But embodiment requires protection. Guard your spirit fiercely. Protect your peace, clarity, sensitivity, time. This isn't selfishness, it's stewardship. You carry something rare, costly. Not everyone has capacity to handle your depth. That's fine. You're not rising to be understood, you're rising to be effective. In this final phase, you'll feel heaven guiding your steps directly. Opportunities feel magnetized. People divinely timed. Decisions instinctively right. This isn't luck, this is guidance. Heaven orchestrates new beginnings, assignments, new expressions of your calling. You'll know you're embodying identity when fear no longer dictates choices. You move without all answers, trust the nudge more than noise. When you choose destiny over comfort, that's the moment your anointing becomes your reality. This is your truth. Heaven wants to seal into your spirit, you are ready. Ready for elevation, outpouring, opportunity, supernatural release. Everything you've walked through, every tear, battle, lonely chapter, transformation, brought you to this moment. You are not stepping into your calling unprepared. You are stepping in refined, strengthened, sharpened, and anointed. Your two divine powers, spiritual alchemy and intuitive mastery, are fully awakened. Together, they form the spiritual engine carrying you into your purpose. Breathe. Stand tall. Walk forward. Your time is not coming. Your time is now. As we close, let this truth anchor in your spirit. you are stepping into a divine moment prepared only for you. Your extraordinary powers are awakening now. A supernatural shift is already moving in your favor. Walk forward with clarity, with authority, with vision. Heaven is aligning the right people, the right opportunities, and the right breakthroughs to meet you on your path. If this word touched you, declare it below. Stay connected for more guidance. Until next time, remain blessed, remain awakened, and keep shining your light. Your time has begun. Embrace your journey.